The Odyssey has been adapted many times, in films such as O Brother, Where Art Thou? And books like the Penelopiad. Over these adaptations, we see a great change in the relationship between Telemachus and his father. The relationship between Telemachus and Odysseus has changed over time. This is to reflect the relationship between father and son. Telemachus is the son of Odysseus. As such, he is a prince and the heir to Ithaca. He is required to care for his mother and to fend off the suitors, while his father is journeying home. In Homer's The Odyssey, Telemachus receives the support of Athena and journeys from kingdom to kingdom, speaking to the friends and comrades of his father. These men instill a strong sense of loyalty and devotion in him, while also helping him to find his long-lost father. He learns of his father through the many legends told of his bravery and greatness in battle. From these, Telemachus becomes even more loyal and devoted to his father, whom he perceives as a hero and legend. The first piece I studied was Ulysses, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson in 1833 and published in 1842. Alfred Lord Tennyson is a highly prolific writer, most recognised for his piece The Charge of the Light Brigade. This blank verse piece containing enjambment is presented as a speech or monologue given to Odysseus's loyal subjects. Despite this, it is not free from his emotion, and is ever present with his subtle discontent for his home life. In this piece, Ulysses' wife is not mentioned more than the first stanza, and is described as aged. This effectively removes Odysseus' strong sense of family values, which is present through all of the Odyssey. In Ulysses, we see a change in Odysseus' goal. Throughout all of Homer's The Odyssey, we are presented with a man who longs for home, and wants nothing more than to see his family again. This is highly contradicted by the adventurous Odysseus presented in Ulysses, who wants nothing more than to leave home and go gallivanting around the world. Within this piece, Telemachus' relationship with his family and kingdom is strengthened. He is told that he is going to act as king in his father's absence. We are told he is well loved of Odysseus and discerning to fulfill his labour by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good. This shows Odysseus' awareness of his son's ability to put aside his own needs and rule as a great and fair king. In this stanza, we are also told that he should be trusted and will not fail as a leader because he is well versed in politics, and that he will be appeasing to the gods and will work in what he does best, while Odysseus does what he does best. This is a strengthening of the concepts that he has learned during his time alone, and shows his loyalty to and understanding of what is required of him as a young man in ancient Greece. When this was written, in 1833, a father's word was law, and children did what he perceived was best for them. This piece reflects that, and thus is a gateway to understanding the connection between father and son at the time. The second piece, by Louise Gluck, is named Telemachus' Fantasy and was published in 1996. According to the Poetry Foundation, nay, Gluck is noted for her poetry's technical precision, sensitivity, insight into loneliness, family relationships, divorce, and death. This is well reflected in her piece Telemachus' Fantasy, which is centralized around Telemachus' relationship with his father, a family relationship. It contains components about his father's sexual exploits and appears to be presented as a dramatic monologue, speaking to Telemachus' true emotion. This form is extremely helpful in presenting this due to its honest and real nature. Through his self-revelation, we see Telemachus argue with himself about his father's loyalty. This is due to the contradiction between his understanding of loyalty and his father's multiple indiscretions with the women of whom he sought shelter. This reflects the much more modern relationship between father and son. As time has continued, we've become more questioning of our father's decisions and no longer believe that his word is law. This is important in a highly developed societal structure and is highly evident in Telemachus's fantasy. This story creates a strong sense of insecurity and uncertainty in Telemachus. It does this through the repetition of "I think" and in the use of words like "I believe" and "I suppose." In the conclusion of the poem, we are shown a strong connection to the previous piece by presenting Telemachus as unwilling to follow his father's footsteps. This is shown in the line, "I never wish for my father's life," meaning, I am happy with the life of a politician I have been given. Telemachus then continues to say, "Nor have I any idea what he sacrificed to survive that moment." I really felt that this was a good representation of our generation's lack of acknowledgement for those that came before us. So not only through these pieces do we gain insight into the relationship between father and son, but also into male adolescence itself. Over time, as there has been multiple adaptations to the original piece by Homer, we find the relationship between Telemachus and his father has adapted to suit modern standards. This is from the 1833 piece, comprised by Alfred Lord Tennyson, to the 1996 piece, comprised by Louise Gluck. Hi, I'm Ranger Robin. Oh, a little bit.